System availability and price. F-Zero was first released with the launch of the Super Famicom in 1990 and the Super Nintendo in 1991. Since then, the game has also appeared on the Wii Virtual Console in all regions around the world. Beyond the Wii Virtual Console though, there have never been any ports to any other systems. Prices are tame for the original F-Zero. If by some chance you don't own it already, here's a rundown of prices. On average, you should expect to pay just between $1 and $15 for the Super Nintendo version, and just $3 to $20 for the Super Famicom version. The Wii Virtual Console version is 800 points. If you have an HD TV, I would personally recommend the Wii Virtual Console version only because of the ability to play such a short game in high definition. Import friendliness. F-Zero's Japanese release is identical to that of the North American one, so import away. History. Development of F-Zero started in 1988 during the peak of the Famicom's lifespan. During early development, a full roster of 20 racers and their cars were designed, but due to technical limitations of the then experimental Super Famicom hardware, all but 4 were dropped from the final release. As a result, the remaining 16 cars were designed around a single model, and were all merely different colors of the same craft. This explains the seemingly misplaced filler cars that populate the racetrack. F-Zero's legacy is one of praise and glory. It has been called the fastest and smoothest pseudo-3D racing game of its time, and offered a level of realism unmatched for some time after. Sometime around 1995, Nintendo started working on an F-Zero sequel for the Super Famicom to take advantage of their now in-depth knowledge of the hardware and larger cartridge sizes then available. However, like many titles under development at the time, F-Zero 2 was ultimately cancelled in the early stages due to the soon-to-be-released Nintendo 64. Nintendo felt that their talents could be better put to use working on a title for that system, which ultimately didn't arrive until 1998. In Japan, one of the most unique and semi-popular add-ons for the Super Famicom was the Satellaview. The Satellaview was a satellite modem that attached to the bottom of the console, allowing Japanese gamers to download game titles and various other things directly from an orbital dish at certain times of the day. The unfinished F-Zero 2 was released as a broadcast Satellaview game, or BS for short. The full title of the game became BS F-Zero 2 Grand Prix. BS F-Zero 2 Grand Prix reuses the same graphics engine, play mechanics, and music from the first F-Zero, making it more akin to a ROM hack of the original game than a standalone title. Although there are 4 new cars, they are all identical to the ones of the first game except in appearance. There is only one league in the game called the Ace League, which has 5 new courses. These tracks are all extremely difficult, and even crossing the finish line is a feat in some of them. Overall, good. F-Zero boasts amazing graphics, top-notch music, spot-on control, competitive AI, challenging courses, and 4 distinctive playable hover cars. Bad. The limitation of only 4 racers is disappointing when you consider that most of its sequels have 30 or more. The duplicate filler cars that populate the racetrack often get in your way. There is no multiplayer mode at all, which hurts the game's lasting appeal. Conclusion. With all things considered, F-Zero is an amazing game that has stood the test of time remarkably well. If you don't own it already, well, what's wrong with you? Go get it. It's super cheap and totally awesome. F-Zero receives a final score of 9 out of 10. It's awesome. With another review completed, it's time for my closing comments. As always, please let me know what you think of my review. Viewers are welcomed and encouraged to leave questions or comments regarding this game. If you like this review, please give it a 5-star rating and subscribe to my channel. You'll be seeing a lot of reviews from me in the future. Next time on 16-Bit Reviews, I'll be reviewing Proteus Da, Shinwa Kara Owari E for the Super Famicom and PC Engine. Cheers!